And welcome, Peter Mullen. Great to see you again.
Thank you, Mark. Lovely to see you.
Look, this week, this has been a bit kindly kept under wraps, hasn't it? You were about to unload. You've got a secret health weapon.
A secret health weapon.
Peter, very excited at the moment because we're going to unload his secret weapon. Peter, we've taken the lid off, the cover's off. What is your secret health weapon for us?
Well, do you think I really need to share it? Do you think I should let it out?
Well, we know what it is. We could just take it for ourselves, but we want to let everybody else know.
We want to share?
Of course we do. Of course we do.
Now, the challenge is, the challenge is that you and I, particularly I, might be more excited about this than what the general radio wants. Or anyway, no disclaimers.
Okay.
So, we're in the middle of, or we've just started day 2 of our Healthy Habits Challenge, which is a free download that people can, a free meal plan for 2 weeks. And we've picked a date. We've all started. I've got people that have started today. Basically, healthy eating. Now, my favourite part of the 2 weeks Healthy Habits is the secret weapon. And for me, what the secret weapon is a 3-day juice cleanse in the middle weekend.
Okay, so right in the guts of it, it's 3 days. It's 3 days of just juice, and more juice.
Yeah, and this has been something that, this concept of fasting, so think of it as a juice fast where you only have juice, and I'll talk a bit more, a bit later on about how I make the juices and some of the mechanisms involved, or suggestions. But this concept of fasting has been around for a long time. A lot of religious cultures do it. And in so many ways, like one of the naturopathic basic premises of naturopathic medicine is that the body is designed to balance or hopefully heal itself. And sometimes the best way we can encourage the body to do what it needs to do is just to give it a really good rest from the 35 tons of food that we shovel down our gob over our lifetime.
And he's been to my place, obviously. So what is it about juices? What are some of the good effects it can have? I mean, does it help us when we're tired, when we're feeling run down? Is that a positive there?
Well, look, yeah, definitely it helps from an energy point of view. The way we do it in the challenge is 5 days where you cut out gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, sugar, processed food.
And we get to pick which one of those we're cutting out.
No, we cut all of them out. Only for 5 days. I tell myself I'm not going to die if I don't have, a glass of red wine. So 5 days of getting ready, and then the Saturday, Sunday, Monday is when you sort of do you do the program of juices. And the idea is that the juices really give your body a good rest, as I said, which liberates your body's healing ability. It's actually a good weekend to just take it a bit easy because you will get into fat burning. It does promote detoxification, and it really does help to just reset a lot of habits that we have. And then the idea is that you do the 6-day then follow-on meal plan where you start to introduce food back into your diet. So basically, it's designed to give your body a really good rest. And I've had patients do this where they've been in their 80s and they've really enjoyed doing the juicing. So it's a real challenge for people to get their head around. But when you think about it, so much of our time and our life is preoccupied with what we're going to eat next.
You have been to my place, haven't you?
Isn't it, though? Like, we wake
really
up in the morning, we eat, we think about what we're having for morning tea, what we're having for lunch, and just to think, right, just doing 3 days of juices, it really does give your mental space a rest from thinking about food as well. So, yeah, it's an awesome thing to do, and we'll go into the next segment, some of the health benefits of it, but I'm a big advocate for doing a juice fast. There are some challenges or contraindications if you're on medication, so we'll talk about that a bit later on as well. But yeah, definitely for me, that's the secret weapon. And sometimes I find doing the 3-day juice cleanse is a great way to get your head back in the game again with eating healthy. So
yeah, Derek joining us on 2NURFM there with cinnamon. Of course, don't need that for Peter Mullen. He's sweet enough as it is.
Actually, cinnamon, just talking about cinnamon, proper cinnamon.
Yeah.
There's really been some great research about proper cinnamon and diabetes.
It's obviously
half
good
a
for
teaspoon a day. Yep, help to with insulin resistance and manage.
I think we found a topic for you for October. Just come into the radio station. We'll help you out with your topics as well. Look, Peter, with this week, it's your secret health weapon, and it's juicing in the middle of the 14-day Healthy Habits Challenge, the idea of spending 3 days just on juices alone. Once you've got past the idea that, a bit scary, this is what we're actually going to do, let's have a look at some of the things that being on that juice for a couple of days will actually do. The first thing on your list is it's going to reset your metabolism and kickstart that fat loss. How does that all work?
When you do a juice fast, you're obviously going to be calorie restricted. And I'm going to talk to you about like how you want to have more vegetable juice and use fruit more as a sweetener. So it's not excessive from a sugar point of view, but it sort of gets your body just used to looking for those extra calories from fat. So if you've tried losing weight and you just can't seem to get into that fat burning mode, doing a 3-day cleanse helps to somehow reset the brain, reset the liver and your detox capabilities. And as I said, one of the biggest thing that doing a 3-day juice fast does is it really gives your body a good rest, so your body's own vitality can get in and get things going again. So
basically a break in routine, and because if you're doing this, you're thinking, well, the body's into some bad routines anyway. It'll morph into something else.
Help to. Yeah, it really does. It's such a mental thing as well. Like when you do the juice, like as I was saying in the last segment, we spend a lot of our time thinking about food, what we're going to have next. It's just a preoccupation, and it's for a lot of us, emotional eating and comfort eating is a big part of our stress coping strategy. So this really helps to break those links a little bit, because for 3 days you know what you're doing, and you really want to just spend the rest of your time just resting, reading a book, going for a swim, having a gentle walk, having an early night. Like you want to sort of think of it as a bit of a healing weekend. So
no trekking through the Warwicks Mountains over that weekend?
I wouldn't recommend it, particularly because you want to space your juices out. Like you don't want to go too long without. You want to make sure you eat before you're hungry, so that you don't get into that track of low blood sugar and craving foods.
So with that in mind, it may also do the next thing. Well, one of the next things on your list was clear your mind. So it's obviously going to help with resetting your mind. How is it clearing our mind, Peter?
Well, just as I said, it just helps to disconnect that food and emotional well-being link.
Because we do have it, don't we? If we're feeling good, we want to have a nice big meal. If we're feeling sad and
we want to have a nice big meal.
If we want to go out, we put so much planning into the meal, and it really is connected at so many levels. So this kind of removes that a little bit.
It does. And the other thing it does is, like I've often said for years, our biggest problem from a dietary point of view in the Western world, there's lots of different diets and lots of different things people can do that they'll feel a lot better for. But one of our biggest challenges in the Western world is that we eat way too much food for what we actually do. And we eat food that creates inflammation in our bodies as well. So it's one of the things that this does is your stomach will shrink. When you go back to eating the follow-on 5 or 6 days for the Healthy Habits Challenge, you'll find that your portion sizes will naturally drop down compared to even the week before. So as well as mentally, emotionally disconnecting that link between food and comfort, it also helps you going forward with having better portion management and learning to eat when you're hungry and not overeat and all those sorts of things.
I said it before, you definitely have been to my place, haven't you? He's been to my place with a clipboard, I'm sure. This is everything you're doing wrong, and this is how we're going to fix you up. I guess also, Peter, that's going to help with appetite. But that's a bit of a no-brainer?
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny, people say to me, I couldn't do juices, I'd be starving. But the trick is that you have a juice at 8 o'clock or you have your lemon and water first thing, then you might have your juice. But you make sure that you don't you might have another one at 11, and then maybe 1 or 2, and then 4 or 5, and then maybe 8. So you don't leave it till you get hungry.
So you're spacing it out.
So you have it before you get to that ravenous sort of state. And you do nice things to occupy your mind, like go for a walk, catch up with a friend, and you can have herb tea as well.
But you do that over a meal, Peter, catch up with a friend.
Well, again, it's
Are they going to eat in front of you? Or?
It's relearning those social habits, like. If you can train yourself or find some herb teas that you love, like I've got a lot of patients that just carry a packet of herb teas in their handbag. So if they're at a coffee shop, if they're at a friend's house, they've always got something there. So it's even socially, we want to try and get away that it's always got to be about food.
Up there for thinking, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Peter, lots of things happening this afternoon. In fact, we've got Warwick on the line who has a question. Good morning. Good afternoon, Warwick.
Yeah, g'day. Look, I've been diagnosed with a retinal vein occlusion, and I do see my ophthalmologist regularly for treatment on that. Is there anything herbally that, may be able to complement the Lucentis?
Anything that has that antioxidant sort of effect that's going to protect your blood vessel walls, particularly if there's any other blood vessel damage happening.
Right.
And I always think of herbs like grapeseed extract.
Oh, okay.
That contains resveratrol.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, look, I would definitely consider maybe even making an appointment and going and seeing someone to get something made up for you specifically.
Right, okay. All right, that's fine. I can do that.
But there definitely would be a lot of things that could be done to help just support, like from a preventative point of view as well.
And some great advice there for Warwick. Hope Peter was able to help you out. Look, we are talking Peter's secret weapon today on health and wellbeing. It is the juice cleanse. Now, Peter, we've talked about it. We've got everybody psyched for it. How is it actually going to work? Can you take us through that?
Sure. So what you do, start each day for the cleanse. It's a good tip anyway. Start each day with a glass of hot water with a squeeze of lemon juice. Or you can add lemon. I often put lemon into my first juice of the morning. Just one more thing I wanted to mention just before we go into that about juicing. One of the really big benefits is you're really maximising your veggie serve for the day.
Yeah, certainly upping
in a
that.
really easy digestible form. So it's a great way of increasing, particularly for kids. Try and use organic fruits and veg wherever possible. I always try and have more vegetable juice and just use the fruit as a sweetener. So I'll do carrot, celery and beetroot, and then maybe a green apple, an orange and a lemon, and a big chunk of ginger. That's probably my favourite juice. Water your juice down. Go 3/4 juice, 1/4 water. As I said before, spread your juices out. Have one at 8, 11, 2, 5 and 8. And make sure you juice before you get hungry. There's no real limit on the amount you can have. Usually you know when you've had enough. And one thing that's really important through this stage with the juicing is make sure your bowels are working well as well. And this is where you can try adding some psyllium husk into one of your juices as well.
I haven't had that for a while, but I do love it. I actually don't mind. You put that in the juice,
yeah,
and you can sort of eat it like it as a snack almost with the juice.
Yeah, well, look at the other thing. So make sure you keep the bowels working. Psyllium's awesome.
Not saying I had problems there.
No. We would have inferred that. One thing that you can do as well, a lot of people or some people sort of think that, the 5 juices are probably a bit cool, 5 a day. If you find the juicing's too much, you can have maybe for the last 2 serves, say 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock, you can make up some very plain vegetable soup. Mm-hmm. Maybe use some salt and herb amare and maybe pepper just as a seasoning, and have a bowl of vegetable soup for those that struggle to think that they can't get through just all juices.
And with the soup, maybe 2 or 3 sourdough rolls on the side.
Yeah, the sourdough rolls need to be thrown out the window.
Okay, that's a no for Peter.
While you're doing the detox.
Well, look,
it
all sounds great as part of the Healthy Habits Challenge, 3 days on the juice, so as to speak.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to seeing how it goes, Peter.
Yeah, well, look, this year we've had 775 people register on the Facebook page.
Pretty good.
That's awesome, and as we said, it's a free service, and hopefully it's going to be something that people. What I love most about the Healthy Habits Challenge is it becomes a tool then that any time you're feeling off track, you can pull it out and do it again. So.
Thank you for that, Peter. That's the secret weapon that Peter unveiled for us today. More secret handshake business coming up on the 26th, but this time secret mother's business.
Yep, Carly, one of our naturopaths, is doing a free talk on kids and kids lunchbox ideas, which is, we see a lot of kids in our practice, and, what to feed your kids is a massive question on everyone's lips. So Carly goes into, and she's got 2 beautiful young girls, so what she tells you about is what she actually does with her kids. And
October, a big month for Mullen Health as well. You've got managing stress and some natural remedies for gut health.
Yeah, and with the gut health talk, we'll be doing a fermenting demo again. So if anyone wants to learn how to make sauerkraut, coconut yogurt and something else, which I can tell you about when I remember what it is.
Else.
That will be coming up as well.
Well, you had me at coconut yogurt. I'm not going to lie.
It's very nice, and it's easy to make, surprisingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, we'll look forward to that. And next week on the radio, we'll be talking about how to eat.
Yeah, just I think more tips on, chewing well, eating slowly, just common sense stuff, but things that sort of go out the window
He
sometimes.
has been at my place with a clipboard, that's for sure. I need to pay attention next week. Thank you, Peter, for that, and a great program as always.
Thank you, Mark. See you next week.
And Peter Mullen back next Tuesday with us at 2NURFM.